My name is Soraya Booley, and I'm the founder of the Sustainable Burkhab Association, or Sabuka in short. And I live around the corner from here in Burkhab, from our garden, which is the Kustas Wakaf Food Garden and Madrasa. And I'm a development economist by training, and I've also worked in the area of policy for a long time, looking at ways to have reduction in poverty and also unemployment. It was actually a very scary thing because we didn't really know what to expect as the virus was spreading. The virus started in Wuhan in China in 2019 and then spread to Europe, and it really just wreaked devastation in Europe. And in South Africa, though, I felt that we had the benefit of hindsight to lock down our economy, close down the borders and the airport, and to insulate ourselves so we could still run our internal economy. Because as you remember, we're right at the bottom of Africa, and so the virus only really arrived here a lot later. And other economies were locked down at the time, and I felt that if we just insulated our borders, we could still have the internal economy running, and we could even produce produce and goods and services, not services so much but goods, and even PPE internally and exported to all the other economies. And I saw this as an opportunity actually for us to turn around our economy and to put us at a vantage point, because at that point our economy was quite devastated already. And so I felt that we could have a really smart approach to the virus by having used the benefit of hindsight to lock down the economy. Personally, here in the Burkhab, we were quite concerned. Tourism is a big thing here, and a lot of our population is quite elderly, and so we felt that it was important to lock down. So we actually locked down the Burkhab a lot earlier than the country itself locked down, and we asked tourists not to come here because we were very concerned about our elderly community. The economy prior to COVID was already in a bad state, as you can remember, with endemic corruption in South Africa, high unemployment, high poverty levels. Our state-owned entities were all in trouble and running out of money and not really performing or delivering the goods. We have one of the biggest income gaps between rich and poor people in South Africa, and also it was getting worse as we were then declared as junk status by rating agencies. So prior to COVID, the economy was already in quite a bad state. Our particular food garden is called the Kustas Wakaf Food Garden and Madrasa. It was started on a rubble dump and a place that was a blight on our community, that was renowned for rubble dumping, drug taking, crime in the area, and just a general eyesore on the community. So there's been a lot of complaints about this site. The history of the site is actually that it was bought through community fundraising through Sheikh Booley about 50 years ago in 1972, and the intention for this land was that it was meant to be a madrasa. But 50 years since, the madrasa still hasn't been built, and this plot of land has been used at one point even as a base for gangsters, and associated with general vice here. We never used to come here really because of the, it's been an infamous piece of land here. So through the lockdown, we decided to start this garden because food parcels were running out and people were losing their income. As you know, in the Burkhab is renowned for not only the colorful houses but the heritage, the living heritage of the people here, and that it's obviously also the oldest Islamic community in the country. So we have a big tourism industry and hospitality industry that people rely on. Many people let out a spare room to say an English language student to supplement their income. And during the lockdown, they didn't have that income any longer. So it had quite a devastating impact on our community, and it is as a result of that, when food security was being threatened, that we really started this garden. And I think it's the first time in 50 years that this garden is actually being used for its intended waqf purpose. Most importantly, in this garden we run a madrasa, in that we teach people how to grow organic food. We've trained 50 people, at least 50 people so far, how to grow organic food. Our theme is starting something from nothing. So you don't really need money to start an organic food garden, and you can grow nutritious organic vegetables without much. And this one, for example, was even started on a rubble dump. It's nearly like a meter high, actually, the rubble dump, and it's in tires. And I think we are proud that for the first time in 50 years, this madrasa is actually being run on the kustas. We also have a ladies madrasa where we teach Quran on a Wednesday, and we've successfully replaced the crime and the grime on the kustas with organic food, where we can feed the needy and feed the poor. One of the 5 tenets or pillars of Islam, and also then empowering the community to grow their own food. Many people in our community have started growing their own food gardens, either at home or on vacant pieces of land outside where they live, where they've cleared up the space so that to really remove the crime and grime there, and to either plant food that they can eat, and in some instances where they can't grow food, they have also grown just regular plants. The other aspect that we're actually doing is that we are also training people how to survive the lockdown. We've started teaching them that if they've lost their job, they don't have money, that they can actually trade and exchange their skills, goods and services in a creative way without any money. Ultimately at the end of the day, though, food is life is food, and we need food to eat. And so we feel that with this project, if we can teach people, our community, to grow their own food, that we can avert the challenges brought about by the food security issues of the lockdown and the world going forward, and inflation that is happening, that is going to make food even more unaffordable.